Hey everybody, BigBlackHatMan here, and I'm very pleased to introduce today On a Budget 2, a sequel to a video we did last year. For those of you who are aware of that, it was a radio program based on the old B westerns, and today we have a sequel, a second episode of the Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring Show. And the biggest thing I'd like to get serious with you here for just a second is to say that I'm very thankful to all my friends who came together and did this with me. I feel very fortunate to have friends who will do these sort of things with me and sort of act silly for a radio program, a fake radio program. So I won't hold up much, we'll get right to the show. Please enjoy On a Budget 2, the Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring Show.
Welcome, boys and girls, to this week's installment of the Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring Show, starring Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring with his reliable steed, Dodger the Dependable. This week's episode is entitled Mine Shaft Shenanigans, so sit down with those lassos and hats and enjoy this fantastic adventure. We open to an idyllic stream where our hero and his new sidekick Tim lay by the bank and have a relaxing time. What? We don't always have to open to an emergency.
Ah, it's a wonderful day, Tim. How about some of your wonderful guitar playing?
Sorry, Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring. The new strings still haven't come in from St. Louis. We'll just have to enjoy the sounds of nature.
Well said, Tim. By the way, we've been writing together for 6 months now. You can simply call me Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan. I consider you a friend.
Gee, thanks. So, how did Bottom Feeder get out of being hung by the lynch mob? They seem pretty determined.
Oh, in the usual way. He bought them enough liquor to get them stupid drunk. Convinced them he didn't really mean it, and promised he'd never do it again.
Yeah, he may have lied about that.
I'm sure he did. Oh, here's your weekly pay, Tim.
Thanks, Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan. I have been meaning to ask, how do you earn money? We don't seem to ever do anything tangible.
Well, the townfolk pay me to ensure that evildoers are kept at bay. All the business put together a pool of money every month that I get paid out of.
You run a protection racket?
Racket's a dirty word, Tim. They don't have to pay me. Of course, they would regret it if they didn't.
Right. Moral ambiguity.
Meanwhile, at the bank of the most infamous man in town, a new evil plot is being hatched as our hero and Tim relax.
Boss, I got big news.
Did you just interrupt my evil laugh? You know how I feel about that.
Sorry, boss. It is just that you wanted to know what was going on with all the new construction stuff and stuff at the edge of town.
Well?
Well, what?
You're kidding. The construction stuff, the intelligence, used loosely in your case.
Oh, yeah. They found the vein of silver at the edge of the Delightfuls Ranch and are building a big mine. The Delightfuls are going to make so much money they plan on sharing it with the whole town. Isn't that great, boss? We may get some money.
Harold, you are my sister's son, and I must tolerate you. However, I feel foolish to continually remind you that we are evil. The idea of sharing offends our sensibilities, and we must steal the mine for ourselves, along our usual 95-5 split.
Sorry, boss. I plumb forgot. How can we steal the mine, boss? It belongs to the Delightfuls.
I think that is the very definition of stealing, you idiot. Yes, an idea is forming. I know what we shall do.
Boss, you are so darn smart. I'm glad I gave up my seat in Congress to work with you.
So is your district, Harold.
At the edge of the Delightfuls Ranch, a new source of riches springs up where the Delightfuls speculate on a bright future.
Oh, Father, just look at it. With this new silver mine, the town can push forward from a backward spot on the map to a proper city with dress shops and shoe stores and all sorts of great stuff. Father, I don't think the town will put a priority on good-looking dancing girls and a better selection of whiskey. Cussing at the townspeople won't help the matter regardless of how much we give them.
And here comes our hero.
I wonder if that voice is everywhere.
Hello, Dolly, you tender and beautiful little thing. Tim and I thought we'd come up and check on the mine.
We're bored.
No matter the reason, it's good to have you here. Can you believe our good fortune?
No, Dolly, I can't. It is just great. Is someone sneaking around those bushes over there?
You idiot, Harold! You cannot hide behind bushes if you allow your butt to stick out from behind them!
Sorry, boss.
Forget the hiding. Let's confront them. Dipstick Dan! Tim, or should I say Brutus? Frank, Dolly, how are you? I see your manners have failed to improve, Frank. I cannot even visualize the kind of filth you describe. I am not here for pleasantries.
Bottom feeder, before you reveal your evil plan, don't you feel you should introduce your friend?
Bodenfeder. Oh, fine. Everyone, this is my nephew and new henchman, Harold. He isn't very bright, so speak slowly around him.
I got kicked in the head once.
Thank you, Harold. At any rate, in my capacity as the city's banker, I have also taken the responsibility of looking into mining regulations. And you must pay for several licenses and permits. If you don't pay these, you'll forfeit the mine to the local banking institution, which happens to belong to me.
I didn't miss the last one.
Later that night, a somber group sits around the papers presented to them by an evil bottom feeder and speculates on the future.
Oh, dearie dear, we cannot afford all these permits. Not unless we sell the whole ranch, and the only one in town with that kind of money is Bottom Feeder.
Don't worry, Dolly. I have a crackerjack of a plan for a fair. You can make some of those famous apple pies, Tim can sing, Dodger can give the kids a ride, and old-timer Frank can tell the stories all the men in town seem to love. I'm pretty sure if you tell that story, we'll get arrested. Stay out of the X-rated territory, Frank.
Nay!
It's for a good cause, Dodger. We'll Scotch guard the saddle.
Hee-haw!
What is that?
That is my mule Chester. I know he has a speech issue, but we try not to bring it up. Chester, I'm sure we can find something for you to do. I think we would be foolish to let you get too close to the kids, given your history with the public, though.
Hee-haw!
Chester, language. You have to work on that biting habit as well. Maybe we can just let Chester have the day off. No matter, we'll raise money with a great fair.
A few days later, the whole gang has set up a wildly successful fair exploiting everyone's talents. Thousands have come from miles around to view the spectacle.
How is this possible? The town only has a population of a few hundred. There are no telegraph lines, and getting this many people here this fast will take dozens of riders.
I told them, since I am everywhere.
Oh, you stinker! You can't take sides!
You shouldn't have insulted me last time.
They say I'm the bad guy.
If I had caught that skunk, I would have thrown it in the crowd to break it up, boss.
That explains what the smell is. Harold, are you eating apple pie?
Yep, that dolly sure can make a pie. And the prices are very reasonable.
You have no idea why I'm mad, do you?
Don't tell me.
There you are, bottom feeder. Why don't you come down here and enjoy yourself? I'm sure you'll be skimming all that money anyway, so you'll come out ahead. Take your defeat like a man.
Well, dingus, doofy, drooling, dumpy, I think you know me well enough to know that I don't take anything like a man. And it's burning better.
How come it isn't Smith, like Mom's maiden name, boss?
Shut up. You just wait there. I'll fix you.
I was never broke a day in my life, bottom feeder. I have to get back to smiling for $1 apiece.
I have $1.
Stop that. I have come up with something. Let's go.
Can I get that dreamy smile?
Just how hard will you get in the head?
At Dolly's pie stand. Hold on. At Dolly's pie stand, the ugly little scumball sneaks up from behind.
Man, that guy holds a grudge. Anyway, Harold, you sneak up, grab Dolly, and we're going to bet all the profits from the fair, or else.
Or else what?
Don't bog me down with details now. Just get up.
Bottom Feeder, you will never get away with this.
Bodenfeder. At least act like you were trying. You may be right about my inevitable failure, but the story would be pretty dull if I didn't try.
Boss, I don't have a lot of experience. But are you sure this is a girl? She seems a little odd.
Don't question the internal logic here. It's kind of like me trying. You hold the girl and I'll write the note.
How come I can't write the note?
Spell kidnapped.
K-E-D-N-A-P-T.
Your skills have gotten better, but I think I'll still write it.
After receiving the ominous note, Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring, Dodger, Tim, and Chester rush to the railroad tracks and to the rescue.
Hurry, Dodger. We have to save her. I love apple pie.
Nay!
There's a piece in it for you if you get us there in time. But you will have to talk to old-timer Frank about the drinks.
There they are.
Don't move, Dan and Tim. As you can see, we have Dolly tied to the railroad tracks and won't free her until we get the money. And as you can see, the forecock is right on time.
Of course I understand. Why did you feel the need to explain that?
Well, certain parties I've been spending time with need a lot of things drawn up for them.
He means me, and I'm happy he did, because I was really confused. Sometimes everything just goes black.
Maybe you should see a specialist or something for that head injury.
Enough talk! Turn over the money! Nay! Oh, sneak up on us. I really hate you, you equine nuisance. No! Bite again! You're the rudest horse I've ever known! Harold! Stop Dan, he's going for Dolly!
I got him, Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan. I got him pinned down with my amazing leg sweep move that dazzles all who see it. Save the day.
There, you are free, Dolly. Just in time. Looks like we can head home.
Talk about our wedding.
No, we'll be far too busy for that.
But
Far too busy.
Listen, I pay you to be my agent. I need a better gig than this right now. What? We're on? Oh, then some stuff happens that wraps it up neatly despite several really gaping plot holes and stupidity.
Well, looks like another crisis has been averted thanks to Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring. How do you like that, bottom feeder?
Are you going to call the lynch mob? It's very hard on my pocketbook to get those rednecks looking up every time.
No, I won't be doing that. I figured with you around, this town will keep needing my service, so you were free to go. In fact, if you can notch it up a bit, I can get you a cut.
Really? Think about that. Oh, yes. Do me a favor. Keep Harold in here for a few days. He is like an untrained puppy.
No problem. Oh, here comes Dolly and the old pervert. Get out of here.
I'm gone.
Well, Dolly, my dear, looks like everything turned out for the best. What have you there in your hand?
it's a little ring of silver. I think you know what that means.
I think I heard Dodger calling. I better get to him right away. Tim may have fell in a well again or something.
Wait, Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring, come back. Oh, you're right, that dirty, rotten son of a...
That's it for this week's exciting adventure of Dashing Dandy Dapper Dan Daring, faithful buckaroos. Tune in next week for more excitement, thrills, and
Nay!
And Dodger the Dependable. Happy trails, and watch out for those rough patches.
I have a crackerjack of a... Don't worry, Dolly. I have a crackerjack of a plan of a fair. I said of a...
It's alright, just go get it.
Don't worry, Dolly. I have a crackerjack of a plan for a fair. You can make some of those famous apple pies, Tim can sing, Dodger can give the kids a ride, and old-timer Frank can tell the stories all the men in town seem to love.
Boobs and some...